It's the end of my second retreat here at Spirit Vine, and it's February 2017, and my first retreat was October 2015, and a lot has happened. The reasons I came to Spirit Vine this time were very, very different than the first time. The first time I was unprepared. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. So this time I came in, I was a lot more grounded. I did all of the diet properly. I did more mental preparation. And the strange thing was that as I prepared for it, I was already experiencing a lot of the healing before the retreat even started. So that was absolutely amazing just to witness. To me, it showed that it was the commitment to do this work was just as important, at least to me. And how Mother Ayahuasca conveys these insights never ceases to amaze me. It just puts a giant smile on my face and just puts gratitude in my heart. The first ceremony, I was working a lot around my obsessions, my addictions to certain thoughts, my addictions to certain substances, my addictions to certain experiences, whether it be sex or drugs or any of those things, and being able to heal those aspects of myself and to bring back parts of my soul that had been lost in other places, in various places, and to come back and to bring those lost pieces of myself back to me it was an incredible experience. It was also going into the ceremony was February 6th, which was my birthday, which I think was also quite powerful, because this entire retreat was basically a birthday present to myself, and it was the best thing that I could have ever done, because now I'm able to come back into the world as a more conscious, more whole person. I still have a lot of work to do, but the amount of healing that Mother Ayahuasca has given me is incredible. Sylvia came the workshop before the first ceremony, and it was about a child regression and about retrieving parts of your soul. So what that means is that when you go through a traumatic experience, it doesn't matter how big or how small the traumatic experience is. As a child, any traumatic experience, you basically leave a part of your soul there. And by bringing yourself back to that moment and retrieving and basically feeling all of the emotions that come with that experience, and then being able to help your inner child, if you're going back to childhood, you're able to bring that piece of your soul back. So by detaching the emotional aspects that the child is unable to process in that moment, you're able to heal that part of yourself. And that's extremely powerful, because you can really feel it. You can feel yourself change during the workshop, and then that carries on into the ceremony, which I think is incredible. And that's really the strength and the power of the method that Sylvia and Rohan use within the workshops, and it's incredible. And I'm very, very thankful for it. So that and it really sets the tone for the ceremony itself, because you are here to heal those parts of yourself. So now we go into the second ceremony. The workshop before that, our entire group basically had a lot of things around obsessions. I know that I actually asked Sylvia if we could do some work around obsessions during breakfast of that day. So during the workshop, it was fantastic. she asked us to build a mental laboratory where we were able to heal ourselves. And that was a really fun exercise because apparently my lab looks like a treehouse, which is really cool. It's got a spiral staircase and it's made out of wood and it's got many rooms, and it's part of my big house. That is where a part of me lives probably at all times, but I'm not entirely certain. And it was amazing to see myself lying there and to scan the body and to heal. Again, find out, oh, this is the part that, you know, is hurting, and I could feel it in my body and I could see it in my mind's eye. And just having that that experience has also allowed me to go back there after the retreat now. It's about 4 days or 5 days after the retreat, and I'm able to go back to that place anytime I want to see, oh, okay, I'll do a body scan, I'll see what part of me is kind of hurting, I'll see what part of me is missing. So not only are we able to do these things within the retreat, we're able to do these things afterwards as well. So we can take the tools that Sylvia gives us and bring them into our daily lives, which I think is absolutely incredible. My second ceremony, it was a tough one for me because I really enjoy the visuals, the journeying, going outside my body. But for some reason, well, I know the reason now, but during the ceremony I got none of it. I was sitting up. I didn't get sick or anything, but I wasn't journeying. I was stuck in the physical reality. I was stuck in the physical realm, and I kind of got obsessed about, well, not, there's a Freudian slip right there. I got upset that I was, you know, just, why am I still in the physical realm? Why can't I go on a journey? And then, you know, the night then I asked for a booster after Sylvia came around and Rohan came around, and at that point I took too much, actually. So I didn't actually remember what happened while I was after the booster. And then I woke up and I was back in the physical reality again, and I didn't consciously journey at all. So I was just like, oh, why did that happen? And I started talking to Sylvia afterwards. And Sylvia, basically I made the analogy of why it felt like the kids were left at home to watch TV while the parents were out at work. And she's like, that's interesting. Why would you make that analogy? Did your parents leave you at home? So after, you know, talking to Sylvia and talking to Rohan for a while and kind of talking about my experiences and having, you know, subconsciously you're always giving yourself clues. And by talking with people that are able to kind of analyze those clues and give you that mirror to kind of bounce things back on, I was able to realize, oh, I don't like being in the physical reality while I'm upset, so I often escape and I dissociate during times of high stress and high emotion. And that has plagued me in relationships, has plagued me in work. It has how I relate to family, how I relate to my sister and my mother and my father, for instance, and my brother, especially my brother. It really gave me a perspective on how to change the relationship that I have with all of these people, which is, you know, and that insight alone was way more powerful than, you know, having nice visuals or creating a journey. So I'm able to change my life now for the better in that way. So that was absolutely incredible. So it's not necessarily, what I realized also, it's not about going on a trip. It's not about the beautiful visuals. It's how you can apply what you learn into real life. And that was profoundly powerful, and I really, really really am thankful for that. Now that it's after the retreat, it's time to actually show the courage, to show integrity and stay present within times of high emotional stress. And that becomes the new challenge. And then the fourth ceremony was a day ceremony. And so we didn't eat breakfast, and we took the tea around 9:30. And my intention was, how do I carry this information that I have received? How do I take this information into, I would say the real world, but this is also the real world. So I will say the rest of the, bring it back to the life that I normally lead. And Mother Ayahuasca, in her knowledge, made me sit on my knees in prayer position for, I don't know, Sylvia said it was hours, but I'm not quite sure. A long time anyway, and time didn't really matter. But my arms started to hurt, and my back started to hurt, and I could feel my body kind of in pain. And but still, I was told, just stay. And what she was reminding me of was discipline. Discipline and practice. And that was also profoundly powerful, because that's two things that I had not been practicing in the year and a half between the retreats. So, and after I came to, finally, she was like, okay, you came to the realization that discipline and practice are the two things you need in order to carry that information into my normal life. And that's something that I very, very much need to remember. And something profoundly powerful as well. Because in many ways, the journeys, the insights, these are all lovely things, but in the end you have to make the decision to change the things that you are given insights about. You always have the choice in the end. You are always shown these brilliant and wonderful things and how to change, but the decision to make the change in the end is always your own. And I have now made the decision to change and to really change my life for the better in that way, and to live as a peaceful warrior in love, in the state of love. And as long as I remember, I will continue practicing, and I will continue my discipline.